I don't know. I realized I've seen Spider-Verse. I've seen the Amazing Spider-Man. I have seen uh, Spider-Man: Homecoming, but I have never seen the original Spider-Man. So I thought I should see that, so I can be a real fan, or what? I don't know. All right, Jurassic Road, not Jurassic World. Um, so I actually tried to make myself rewatch the entire Let's Play up to this point in preparation for the comeback, which, if you didn't know, is happening now. Uh, but I couldn't do it, and here's what happened. I've watched the first few episodes, and I didn't want to watch anymore because they were bad. Like, that might be the biggest sign of how much has changed since I started this, and that I've improved so much as a Let's Player, I feel, that I can't even bear to watch at the beginning of this Let's Play. I can't force myself to do it. I mean, oh gosh, I forgot the propeller. Oh well, that went okay anyway. So I didn't want to be completely just like blind. Oh gosh. I mean, not despite the fact that this whole Let's Play is blind. So I rewatched the last 5 episodes, which was the session from August of 2017, where the 12th Kind was in the video. So I at least remember that much. I rewatched those right before I began this. And you know what? Those videos weren't bad. They weren't, like, amazing, but we made some pretty funny comments. And had some interesting, like, discussions. So yeah, I've never... So most of the stuff that happens earlier in this game, I don't remember it at all anymore. Unless it was, like, something really out there, like the time I had that weird alien invasion episode. I still don't get what was up with that. Also, what's happened since the last time I uploaded was... I might have even mentioned this in a previous episode, but I am on the ChoroQ Discord server, which is... I think it still is being run by Luna Hydreigon. There was like a moment where it looked like she was gonna like quit, but then she didn't. I don't actually get on there that much because I'm bad about checking Discord, but every now and then I'll pop in and make a random comment. And I'm basically like given like a special status on the Discord server because I make content about the ChoroQ series, so that's pretty nifty. It's a little bit surreal because I am pretty much a nobody on the internet, and this is like the one place I can go where it's like a lot of people know who I am just because when I pop by to say hello. I don't know. I try not to let it get to my head. Because I've gotten comments on the Gadget Racers Let's Play that said, like, man, this Let's Play was like my childhood. I loved watching it. And not very many. Like, I've gotten like 2 or 3 of those at most. But it's just, it really gives me a warm feeling. Because for me, like, I was inspired to do this by people like Sugar Conroy and Big Dip on a Bus and Slowflake, even though I don't watch him anymore. I watched him for a little while. And just that I could be that for someone despite making like kind of iffy quality content. It shows that someone will watch these videos like just I don't know, because there's something which I bring to it, and what I could kind of bring to it even back when I didn't have a capture card. My camera fell over while I was recording, and it was very unprofessional. Because professionalism isn't everything. The YouTube has sort of gotten very elitist about that. Like, oh, you have to heavily edit your videos and do all this and that and make like all these stuff. I don't really believe in that. I mean, I don't have a problem with people who do that, but I don't think it's required. That said, I have gotten a little bit more creative with my editing over the years. Every now and then I'll feel like throwing something in, but I don't feel like it's something someone should feel pressured to do. That said, I do think there is a sort of minimum standard you should strive for when it comes to your sort of the professional quality of your videos. Like, that's why I got a capture card, that's why I got a new microphone that I'm still using. Just because it might be distracting to some people if you don't kind of meet those standards. But also, not everyone has money to up to 2 gigabytes to just go out and buy a bunch of equipment, and I do respect that. I do happen to have a 2 gigabyte CPU sitting around, so I'm gonna make use of that. And this is a probably gonna be a off-road thing, but let's see. Yeah, dangerous flight. I'm thinking about the stupid joke Andrew made in the last recording session. Oh gosh. And then the video gets political. No, it doesn't. I'm just kidding. But yeah, to finish my story about the ChoroQ Discord server, I was added to it, and then recently there's been like a lot of like stuff happening there, and I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen next, but I've been keeping my eye on it. Like, one day I was watching, I noticed that me and my sister were hanging out. I noticed that Monty Python and the Holy Grail was on Netflix. I was like, you know what? I've never actually seen that movie all the way through, and I feel like it's a cultural milestone that I should see. So we put it on and watched it through. And while I was watching that, I got a Discord notification. It was, I think it was Luna Hydrigan said, like, the server is, like, dying. We're having, like, an admin call. And even though I wasn't an admin, I was allowed to join in. So I just kind of went to the other room, and I joined the call. Just kind of, I had no idea what was going on, and I was just kind of trying to find out, basically. And then Luna was like, alright, what are your thoughts on the situation? And I was like, I have no thoughts. It was kind of funny. Just, I felt like a little bit, like, cause for the past few weeks before, oh gosh, it's the UFO. I hope it doesn't get me. Before that happened, I had been visiting my girlfriend Haley, the one who I do Undertale and Night in the Woods with. So I wasn't really checking Discord very much. I just kind of like hyper focus on her whenever we're together. So I didn't have the first clue what was going on in that. But it's, I don't know. I don't know how much I should say about that, but there's a lot of like infighting on the server apparently. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. On an unrelated note, I find it over my whole time on the internet when I've used the XEspmaster or XEspmasterX usernames. I used to be just XEspmaster. I added the X's during my edgy Sonic DeviantArt phase. I say that despite the fact that I didn't have a DeviantArt, but that's a whole story in and of itself. But I had the X's in at some point. And throughout this entire time, whenever someone wants to refer to me shorthand, they call me Esp. which I just kind of find interesting how that's sort of stuck and how kind of like universal it is. I mean, no one's gonna call me master, so that kind of makes sense. Master. Oh gosh, that would be kind of awkward. I'm glad no one calls me that. That would definitely go to my head. Oh yeah. So here's a fun fact. I found out that the TV I have now that's in my apartment has a headphone slot. So I'm actually listening to the game's audio in real time and not like slightly delayed through not Camtasia, through Pinnacle Studio. Although I'm not using Pinnacle Studio anyway, I'm using OBS. It's a little bit of a test, because I don't think I've used OBS to record capture card footage before, but I wanted to try it because it reduces the legwork I have to do in editing, so I don't have to sync up the audio. If the video goes to crap, the whole video goes to crap, not just my commentary, because that's like the worst editing jobs I have to do are when the audio gets desynced and the game footage is fine. Like, that's what happened to the original recording of the end of Super Smash Bros. Brawl that I did with the Steve Engine. Speaking of that, that's over. We finished it. And we're probably not going to do anything with that channel ever again. But the Broken D-Pass channel is there if you want to watch that. I did really enjoy doing that Let's Play for the most part. There's a lot of funny moments in it, I feel. And DCF, my collab channel, which I did with Kink I Red and Animica364, is also over. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish our stuff, but I did upload the rest of what we had for that. So that's done. And Animica364, I don't even like barely talk to him anymore. Not because I'm like mad at him, but just because he's not around. He's so busy with his college life. He's like a film major, and he has to do so many like theater performances. It's just nuts. He has practice all the time. Like, he's busier than I am, and I'm a music major. So he hasn't had much time to sort of socialize with us, which I understand. And speaking of Animica, Dorma Net Productions, which had me, him, and also the 12th Kind from the last segment, or the recording session, that's also over. And that's because the 12th Kind and I are no longer going to the same university. He transferred somewhere else. So we sort of kind of come to the conclusion that it was best to just sort of, I guess, I won't say part ways, because we still like talk with each other sometimes, but we're not really collaborating on this type of stuff anymore. Just, I've kind of had to accept that this sort of life I had in high school where I could just invite friends over and record stuff is over. And that's why, for the most part, the only like co-commentator you're going to be seeing in my videos for a while is going to be Haley, because I at least see her frequently enough, and we can get on Discord and do stuff. She's someone who I talk to frequently enough. But like, as far as people who live close to me, I have like one friend, one very good friend who doesn't really do gaming a lot, so she wouldn't be a good fit for this type of thing. So yeah, and I don't want to just go out and find random people on the internet to do this with me, because that could end a disaster, honestly. I mean, it also could be great, but it could not be. I don't know. I don't know whose personalities I'm going to be compatible with. And the biggest problem with that is just that you never know when you're going to get someone to do a collab project with you, and then they'll just flake out and you'll never see them again. And then you're left in an awkward situation, like, what do I do with this project? And, oh boy, Castle in the Dark, my favorite.